What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to Maps Exposed, the series where I cover all the lines of sight, wall runs, as well as any other secret spots that I know of on every map in Black Ops 3. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the map Havoc. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so Havoc has actually some pretty amazing lines of sight. I was very impressed with a few of these lines of sight, and I'm going to save some of the best ones for last. But first, let's start off by the A flag here. First off, just a little capture spot for the A flag. If you're playing Domination, you can capture from right here, and that'll just avoid a lot of grenade damage and everything like that. Also right here, you can use this as like a jump spot. You might be able to get a jump shot if people are trying to spawn trap you by standing behind those white barrels over there. Also, if you come right over this way, if you have enemies that are coming from that direction there and maybe trying to spawn trap you, or you just know they're coming from over there, you can jump up on these sandbags right here, and you have a nice little crack you can look through between where these plants are, and you can pick them off through there as they come sprinting through there. Now, right next to that spot, if you come up on top of these sandbags right over here, you can actually see it, as long as you strafe over enough, without falling off the sandbags, you can see right through there where an enemy might be hanging out. And I'll just show you really quickly where that spot is. That would be that spot right there. So a pretty effective line of sight for a sniper rifle, especially if you have enemies that are really pinning you back in your spawn there and they're really locking it down by standing in spots like this. It's a great way to pick them off. Now, right over here is one of my favorite lines of sight. I actually discovered this during a live stream a couple months ago, and it was just a completely accidental occurrence, but I jumped up here accidentally, and I noticed you get a great line of sight on the people that are back there, as well as anybody that comes to that head glitch there. This is excellent in demolition, because there's a bomb site right here in demolition, so if you're on defense, and they're all pushing really hard from over there, you can really effectively defend that bomb site. Now, on that exact same spot, if you just turn around here, you can use this as a check spot for that back corner where that yellow barrel is, and people love to hang out on that yellow barrel, so if you know they're there, you can also potentially get a jump shot on them from here. Now, getting over kind of towards the middle of the map here, right over there is a very common spot, especially off the opening route, and especially in Domination. Actually, pretty much any game mode, people always love going to that position right there. Instead of coming up to these white barrels here where they expect you to go to, or the yellow barrel right here, these are the places they're going to be looking for you. Instead, jump up on top of this, and there you go. Great cover looking over top of this. You can crouch to be completely hidden from them, stand up, and you have excellent cover. You have much better cover than they do, and you'll win this gunfight most of the time. On the reverse of that, we have that power position right there. And once again, it's a very similar thing. You can come right here, which is where they expect you, or you can come over here, which again is right where they expect you to be, or you can jump on top of this, and there you go. Great line of sight to them from here. I use this one all the time, and it works very effectively. Now, if you have great control over the middle of the map, and your enemies are back in this corner here, and they're using this piece of cover right across there, it can be kind of a fair gunfight if you come to this spot here. This is a pretty fair gunfight, and this is exactly where they expect you to be, and we want to stack the odds in our favor. So what I like to do instead, keep in mind you want to make sure you have control over the entire middle of the map before trying this, otherwise you'll just get picked off because you're very exposed. You just jump up on top of this part right here. You get a great line of sight over there. All they'll see is basically the tip of your head, and you have a little bit of an elevation advantage over them as well, and they just don't expect this most of the time. So this is a great way to pick them off. But like I said, don't stand here for too long and make sure you have control first. Now, this is the most obvious wall run, but I just wanted to point it out anyways. It's a great way to just get around here a little bit faster. You can kind of jump up this way and into the window. Works both ways. It's very, very symmetrical. And I also like to use it coming this way sometimes. I can use it, I can kind of watch over here, and then as I come across here, I can jump across and see what they're doing over there and potentially shoot people that are right over there. And the same thing kind of goes on the other side. They have a fence just like this, and it's the same sort of idea. Now, as you're attacking the C flag, you'll often like check this spot, and then you'll push up and try to get a line of sight down on these people here and wait for them to come out of spawn and pick them off. And that's pretty much where they expect you to be. You still have excellent cover here. There's really nothing wrong with using this position. Just a slightly better option in my mind is to jump up here and look over top of the vehicle this way. They don't expect this one to happen nearly as often, and it's great if you need to take cover from these people. All you have to do is crouch and you're out of the way. So it's just a much better spot. I use this one almost every single game. Now, if you spawn back somewhere in this corner here and you know enemies are coming from that area right there, you don't have the greatest cover. Like, you could come to here, I guess, or you could try to use the truck to cover if you can get here in time. But if you're spawning back here and you just know they're over there, just hop up on top of this, and there you go. You got a great line of sight on them. You can crouch to take cover, stand up, great line of sight towards that area. This can also work a little bit if you're attacking people that are coming off spawn over in that corner. You can stand here, but this is where they expect you to be. Jump up a little bit and jump up on top of this and just kind of strafe over. Gives you a bit more of a height advantage. You can see right down to where the stairs are there, and it just gives you a slightly different angle on them. Now, way back by the C flag, if you have enemies that are putting a lot of pressure on your spawn, they're coming from that area right there, and maybe they're just locking down that piece of cover right there. A great way to challenge them is to jump on top of the truck here, and there you go. Excellent cover over top of these rocks here. They don't usually expect you to be here, and it's just a great way to pick them off as they come through that area towards your spawn. Now, getting inside the main building here, just wanted to point out that you could wall run pretty much around this entire building here, just like this. And a lot of times they won't be expecting you. They won't be looking up top. Like they'll come to this piece of cover right here, for instance, and they'll be looking down this way. And they just won't notice you wall running across there. Of course, you are pretty exposed, so if they really are paying attention, then you're kind of in trouble. But just wanted to let you guys know that you can do that wall run right there. Next, this is a great line of sight into the doorway up there if you're down below here. This is a great like search and destroy spot, for instance, if there's really not a lot going on and you don't expect to be rushed by a bunch of people, you jump up on these barrels and there you go. You get a nice little line of sight into that doorway. You won't always be able to actually pick them off by the time they get out of your line of sight if they're running through that doorway, but it's a great check spot anyways. And if I'm not mistaken, in search and destroy, the bomb site is like somewhere right in this room. I know the demolition bomb site's like right here. But if I'm not mistaken, there's a search and destroy bomb site here, so it can be great for defense here. Alright guys, getting back into this corner here, this is where we have some amazing lines of sight, including my favorite line of sight, which I'm going to be saving here for a little bit. But first off, if you're coming around this corner here, you don't really have much cover against anybody that might be over in that area there, and that's not a good thing. So instead, this is just like the map Exodus. There's a little barricade thing next to a vehicle just like this. You can hop up here, move over, and you have great cover to pick those people off over there, or anybody that might be in the open right here. Next up, you can actually jump on top of these barrels here. I had never actually tried this in-game until I was actually looking for spots today. And you can actually jump up on this corner here, which a lot of people can use as a camping spot potentially, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. The nice thing about this spot is that line of sight right there. You can see over to that really common spot that overlooks towards the middle of the map, and they won't usually be looking this far back for you. So it's a nice, easy kill, a great way to get long shots as well. And finally, just a little variation of that, and I find it to be a better line of sight. It's to that exact same spot, is to jump up on top of the vehicle right here, and there you go. Excellent line of sight on them. Crouch to take cover, or you can crouch and strafe over, and you'll just have a perfect head glitch here to pick those guys off. They'll have no idea what hit them. This is excellent for long shots. This is excellent for first bloods. Just an overall amazing spot, especially at the beginning of a round of any game type pretty much, because there's almost always at least one person going to that spot. So that's going to wrap it up for the map Havoc, and that's actually the final map of the default maps that come with the game. We still have Nuketown to cover, which will be the next episode, so I will cover Nuketown, and then I'd like to hear what you guys think. Which map should I cover first for the DLC that's coming out, the first DLC pack? And here's all the map names on the screen here. Pick one of those, let me know in the comment section below which one of those you'd like me to cover first once that map pack releases. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.